I mean, Void Spirit, there have been teams like Liquid, for example, where Mickey has run the Void Spirit as a position 1.
I think Boxy's played it as well in the 3 role,
Yeah.
so there's a decent amount of versatility there, and it's not unknown to see it played as a pos 4 either. But I mean, there are
5 seconds remaining.
there are many heroes here that could be cores.
Yeah.
That's the big issue here. Maybe the Elder Titan wants to be playing with the Naga Siren just so that you can eventually build up into the cleave, deal with the illusions, deal some decent damage in lane with the use of the Astral Spirit.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about any like real high armor hero that is of course agility means that the natural order is just going to reduce a bunch of that base armor, and that's often where these agi heroes thrive, on being able to trade late game versus a lot of physical damage. But if ET kind of takes that out of the equation, then it will give them
Radiant
a much
team
easier time to kill off the Naga Siren. And well, we're going to see a Bat Rider here, so no soft dispel or hard dispel, a great way to secure a pick off.
You know what hero we haven't seen yet that I also do want to see? Not necessarily in this game, because I don't think it fits either draft, but the Vengeful Spirit. I think that hero is definitely going to see some play at TI. Any sort of hero that... I mean, the big change to it was the Nether Swap. Now it does slight damage, I believe.
Yeah, 50.
Yeah, 50 damage, so you can't just blink away after a swap, unless you've got like some sort of way to reduce that. And as well, it also provides damage reduction to both the Vengeful Spirit and the swapped unit. So level 1, 30% damage reduction if you're putting yourself in harm's way, still pretty damn good. And hell, you can even swap someone else into the middle of a team fight and still have them somewhat tanky.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, that's really going to be interesting to see how that
5 seconds
at least change to the swap can come into play. I feel like you're still a bit level dependent on the cast range, but maybe there's some big cute plays to come out because his Vengeance Aura can also enable a lot of damage here. But so who's got the first pick out of the phase? Okay, Team MagMa do. So we looking for position 1
for both sides? Feels like it.
I don't know if this is a... so you reckon Naga 5 or Naga 4?
I want to see Naga 5.
Okay.
Even Naga 4 is fine, but they do have a lot of ways to clear illusions, right? So I feel like you can't have it as a position 1 because it's just not going to be quite as effective.
Well, the Void Band doesn't even reveal too much as well, because teams have been attempting to flex that. So it would be great with like the Invoker, the Jakiro.
Yeah, there's plenty of stuff that the Faceless Void and the Chronosphere would have been able to combo with. So just take out the easy way to execute, and then both teams seem pretty keen on the fact that it's still the position 1 remaining for them. So what's even left? I don't think you want to be going too much more in the form of illusion heroes for Elephant. For Team Magma, they could probably still get away with it.
I think they need a Dispel for the Bat to lane into. Like that's a really difficult match. Like Slark and PL, the best heroes. So Jug's banned, Lifesteal's banned. But man, there's not many heroes, and Naga's really the only one you can go into. Weaver used to be an old kind of semi-counter when there was nothing else left available, and there's not a lot of control, honestly, from Elephant, but he's really, really squishy.
Dire team pick.
Weaver.
That is the Weaver. All right.
It's an answer in the Night Stalker. This is quite the Night Stalker pick. So who's playing what,
who's playing what? I want to see Naga FY. Let me see that sweet, sweet Naga Siren on FY.
Yes. Hey. So
I like it.
So what I was saying earlier in our group stages was that Eurus was pretty much the first player to really invent the position 1 Night Stalker a while ago with the Coddle pairing. And
no Coddle in this game, though.
Correct. No Coddle in this game, but him and Vici, when he was on Vici still at that stage, they broke down that hero to ridiculous level
10
on
seconds
how they were
remaining.
able to play it at an extreme rate. Like no one was beating it, and
5
then
seconds
every other
remaining.
team started to implement it as well. So if anyone's going to be able to pull off the Night Stalker one, it is definitely Eurus.
And it's a position for Lena as well. So realizing the effect that something like Cold Snap, Tornado, EMP, Ice Wall is going to be able to have on you if you're able to get on top of her, just relegating her to the position 4 role. Instead, it's going to be Dust playing against Invoker. And, you are capable of dodging out a lot of these damaging spells with Assimilate.
Would you rather... I guess you've got a range to pair with the Pango now. So if you went Void Spirit 4, then that's 2 melee 4s, and then a Pango Void Spirit lane doesn't sound the greatest. So the only reason why I'm questioning is just because I feel like Lena might have had a better matchup mid, and you have a way to purge off Resonant Pulse, which can kind of feel nice. So
yeah, so it's a bit weird, but I don't know. Like hell, even the Pango could have been mid, right? And you just play it like Thompson does whenever he plays it, and he just constantly is using Q to shove out the waves and not really care too much about his own farm. It's just about not giving up too much of your own map control. But the FY Naga Siren, that is what I'm looking most forward to. I'm praying that he goes for the Aghanim Shard because I've yet to see it in a competitive environment.
Okay, so what do you want the itemization to be for FY pre 20 minutes when that Ag Shard's not available?
What can he look to go? Let's have a look at where the majority of the damage is coming from. It's mostly magical. So he's going for the Meteor Hammer. It's a decent way to set up with a Song with a Siren, I suppose. I was thinking maybe you're going something like a Veil. You're not buffing up your own damage, but an Invoker will enjoy it. The Night Stalker does a decent amount. Bat Rider will love it. Jakiro as well. But, it enables you to be a little bit of this tower pusher. FY's micro has always been pretty good. You're able to use those mirror image units to drag creep waves to enable you to get the easier Meteor Hammer off if you're left on your own for even just one creep wave.
I think that's a big thing, the tower damage, like you highlighted, because who hits towers on Dire? Like, no one.
Night Stalker at nighttime, that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it. And still pre 20 minutes, that doesn't feel like he's really going to be your tower hitter, like a Death Prophet to take towers, or even Terrorblade with Metamorphosis or something like that. You could name so many better heroes to take towers, and unfortunately the Night Stalker isn't one of them. So at least the Meteor Hammer for FY, great setup into the song, and also gives you yourself some lane push depending on how you skill build, and more importantly, some ways to take objectives.
They got a little bit with Super as well, right? That Jakiro is always going to have the liquid fire, even just the 1 point with the attack slow on the tower means that you're able to tank it up a little bit more effectively.
See, potential another battle here by the River Elephant, looking to come out a little bit more greedier in their regard, as they're both contesting top and bot. But they don't have the fastest clicks in the West, as Weaver picks up that one.
I haven't seen the Dual Breath cast point change either. It previously was a little big wind up. They sucked in the big ones and then used the Dual Breath. So I'm keen to see how it looks in the lane.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just like I haven't even seen it as well either, so I'm not sure how much different it's gonna feel. At least trading is really nice. That attack speed's slow. Doesn't last for too long. How's it? Only 5 seconds. So 100 damage. But you do trade really well with it as well. You can get a lot more right clicks in, which is kind of damage that doesn't get shown in the stats, so you can't really at least get a numbers wise, but it's still the feel wise of how much it can do.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like it would be much more noticeable when you're coming up against the likes of, an Invoker or a Clockwork. These things that can deal a ton of mini stuns to you, where you might still be able to get off your ability that's able to do damage and dissuade the enemy from pressuring you in team fights.
Yeah. How do you feel about Yang? He's taking a lot of damage here. How do you feel about the Weaver into the Batrider matchup? Because like I was saying in the draft and why I called for it, it was just something that a lot of teams will pick when pretty much all of the better counters are not available in the draft anymore, but I've still seen some games where Batrider can kill the Weaver and have an okay time.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's always going to be the concern, right? But it was basically the best of what's left, I think, is what MagMa had. And it was clear that that Batrider pick was something that Elephant were planning for quite a while, using 4 bans to be able to take out even before the phase that the Weaver was picked in.
Yep. I think we've only seen one Weaver as well through the groups, and he himself also looked pretty strong as well, so potentially another solid showing here. As there is a bit of lack of control from Elephant, unless, you know, they commit heavily on the ultimates. It'll get a lot easier once Eurus gets these items up, but I'm also intrigued on how the Night Stalker wants to itemize, if he's still going to opt into a relatively early blink to help ramp up the pressure here from Elephant.
Another thing is that, I know I've talked about it before, but Geminate Attack, it's now a toggleable ability, so you could use Orb Walking. Not that you want to really be diving towers against a Batrider, it's probably one of the riskiest things in the game to do, but if you're in the position where you can chase down, you can avoid the tower aggro going on to you just by using that Orb Walk to try and, you know, stay out of the tower range.
Mid matchup though looks to be pretty even at the moment, 15-5 compared to the 12-2. Unfortunately for Dust, is not really going to be able to play around with too much mana in the lane. At least he's got some bottle charges.
Discreetly.
Loaded to the gills.
It's going to be forced all the way back shortly. He'll have the bottle rune, the bounty rune available to himself. Has to be careful about dropping too low though.
Jakiro might be our first blood. TZY just doesn't have enough damage there left in that last right click. We do see Super at least forcing out some resources early. He's only got one more salve available. Eurus, what's he got coming out on the Corey? Because he's also out of regen. He's got the boots, so they're not going to have a lot to keep them afloat here for the next minute or so on Elephant up top.
I'm really liking the way that Somnus is playing this laning stage as well. He's constantly positioning himself aggressively around the range creep, realizing that, well, Dust, he already isn't going to have an easy time in the lane, but also if he's able to use his increased regen on Somnus and just body block the Aether Remnant, you can block the range creeps from being taken as well. Yang, bit of action on the bottom side. Kaz is getting dived a little bit here with the ensnare used.
Yang's still got to be careful though. They didn't deal with the bug, and yeah, Weaver just brings him down with so much right click damage, and now he's gonna try and turn to harass out FY as well, but they'll trade a 1-for-1. More importantly though, Weaver is able to pick up the first blood.
What's he got coming out to him? That Falcon Blade. It's a valued item in the Chinese region, certainly buffed up a little bit in recent times. For something like a Weaver, it feels like.
Why? Oh my god, he's gone back in with a shield crash. This man's a bad man.
I feel like he had to.
Yeah.
You got the trade at least, right? Because of that.
Yeah, at least he got the experience out of it, yeah. I mean, Miam picking up the kill, but you'll take the experience at least.
Mm-hmm. He was going to tick out anyway. I think he needed the
shield
Dust. Crash.
Oh, Somnus doesn't have Tornado. Okay, man, so close. Somnus is playing this lane incredibly well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you wouldn't expect an Invoker to have 13 denies as a Coswex Invoker, but he's by far one of the best in Dota.
Yeah, for sure. Getting closer and closer to that urn as well. And once that happens, you are capable of having people rotate a bit more to your lane, try and go for those kills. Though it is still going to be tough against something like a Void Spirit.
So would you rather to see Dire put a little bit more emphasis on rotating to Somnus's lane, or do you think there's some side lanes that will be easier for the Invoker to gank?
You never really want to be out of the mid lane for too often as this Invoker, right? Because with the skill build that he's gone, it's not maxing out the Aether Remnant.
60 nade bombs! Just gets the Shikuchi back underneath the tower. You see though, once the Batrider does get on top of you, he's able to burn you down with ease.
They're out of regen though. Kind of surprising that Kaz doesn't have anything.
And now top lane, Mion. Once again, we might see a trade up top. This time it'll be more right click. Sakuchi still on cooldown unfortunately. F5, does he have detection? Looks like he does.
I need it.
Snake just got it beforehand and was able to scout him out throughout the duration.
This Naga Siren proving to be pretty damn valuable in the laning stage. I mean, all that big base armor, you don't need to buy boots, you can just go straight into the Meteor Hammer. Kind of like a similar... Oh, top side, TZY is getting dived a little bit here.
They don't have the Void. If he can bounce back on the tree, actually, Eurus. Very speedy. Should sidestep this last roll. Oh, for a second, I'm like, maybe guess the wrong direction. TZY now? Eurus has got the mana for the Void. Damage mitigation, once again, has to be required to potentially out-trade there. And now back to mid we go, though, Somnus. Getting dived deep from Dust. It's got that cross region coming into play. They'll drop the detection, and that last rank click is just enough, unfortunately, for FY. It wasn't enough to help keep Somnus alive, and maybe they're even going to try and dive him. There's another Astral Step. Round is up for your Void Spirit. Easily able to set up for Lena's follow-up damage there, and well, that's 2 big kills here for MagMa in the middle lane.
That's some big value there, and they even got the super deep Observer Ward up there as well, so they know when any kind of rotations might be happening from the backside. Super Meow Meow trading a little bit here. The MVP of that, I keep saying MVP, but the key thing to note on that top engagement when they were able to kill the Pangolier was, I want to highlight Super there, because he popped a Clarity while he was inside the Rolling Thunder, and he was only 13 mana away from being able to get off that Swashbuckle and secure the kill onto the Night Stalker. Yeah, Mian might be in trouble. No mana.
It's like Somnus just trying to secure the Arcane. It's like maybe if Void Spirit wasn't there, they might pounce. Unfortunately, it does cost them the Observer Ward.
Top tower is under attack.
Eurus is having a good time though, you know, farming relatively well, didn't die in the laning stage. You know, opposite to that, he actually ended up getting 3 kills, so he's feeling all right with being able to transition eventually into the mid game. Not sure if he's going to be able to get anything done before the daytime, although FY he's going to try and make it happen as he rotates up towards this top side.
TCY. He has the ultimate. Let's see if he can get it off. Eurus with the mini stun from the Void at nighttime. We'll cancel that one. Great awareness, just making sure he holds on for as long as possible to cancel that charge up in the Rolling Thunder. Now, it was a pretty big commitment with Dark Ascension, however, but it looks like Eurus is happy with getting the kill and then resetting out of the lane.
You just get so much information with this, right? Unobstructed vision. Unfortunately for him, Kaz is going to be able to take care of that Observer Ward, but it means that they know that Mian's up here on his own.
Dust. Okay, he's alright. Mian, however. Just another big kill picked up from Eurus. It has dragged their attention away to the Triangle Campus. Somnus and Super getting converged on from the backline, as even Weaver's looking to show up just to put so much emphasis on shutting down this Invoker's star.
And I think if you're MagMa, you need to look to continue this, right? You were just able to get a kill onto the Invoker. You know that there's no Dark Ascension, and you know that there's no nighttime in 10 seconds. So you're going to need to try and get as aggressive as possible. FY, he's going to look to play around as many of his teammates as he can, so that he's got that Song of the Siren for the counter initiation.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Still not going to be a while until Dire do get that first tower. I mean, how close to Meteor is he? What's the recipe called? Only 250, okay. So he's about 900 away from the Meteor. It will take a bit of gold for FY to complete that, so this will at least give MagMa a lot more of the map to farm for this first daytime, and in fact, they might actually not look to use this time to farm. Probably they want to fight, recognizing that, you know, the power spike of the Night Stalker isn't there currently. However, FY is able to sidestep the Remnant, and does he just TP out? Yeah, he's got it. Why not? Dude,
Oh.
That's the BM right there. You know, we don't see as much character for some people, but just bunny hopping forward, and then he's going to go for the TPR.
I think he felt a little salty because he placed an Observer Ward down right next to the Radiant Secret Shop right after the ET had already just dewarded Super. So maybe he felt a little bit, you know, sore about that, and just wanted to shove it in their face a little bit.
Top tower is under attack.
Oh, there you go. Lovely play from Radiant, taking the T1 early. Unfortunately, they don't get the kill, but yeah, recognizing, I mean, Night Stalker, even though he's top of the net worth with Dark Ascension, it is about to be back up, so maybe this might give Elephant an opportunity to actually try and take a fight. T1 tower is still up at the moment. Instead, as Eurus though, Dark Ascension pop, should be able to easily sidestep this as they're bouncing him back on the higher gun. Is the unobstructed movement speed? It's off. It's not, in fact. They bring him down through the Dark Ascension, but the rest of Elephant looking to swing on over towards the top side. As Somnus, it's a great use of the Tornado. Kaz, couple more right clicks, however. Can they even bring down the Elder Titan? Selvin, Tranquil's not enough to bring him through, and now Dust has collapsed on the back line as MagMa, an incredible early game fight from them. They have the control, however, to lock in Yang. It looks like they just have to try and resort to getting the Naga instead of the position 3. Nonetheless, though, a kill's a kill, and that'll be a 4-for-0 trade here for MagMa.
Very nicely done, and that was done without any vision, essentially. You know, they didn't place any up. They had it available on Mian Mian, but just not opting to put it down yet. So the fact that they were able to do that against a Night Stalker with Dark Ascension used, big props to them.
And again, this is now back to daytime for another 2 minutes 30, and there's nothing you can do about it now for Eurus. So they're well aware that he committed to this bottom lane. Rolling Thunder's back off for TZY. Needs to slow. Now he's going to get it. Diving deep, though, is a bit of an issue for TZY. He's still going to try and charge it up FY. Doesn't have the song as well to disrupt them at the moment, and Eurus falling low, but the fast piggy once again. The neutral item may be enough to get it back to safety. Eurus one more tick and he will end up falling. But you see the heavy commitment from MagMa. They've dived way too deep as Dust should be punished here with the Ice Path on the mark. Now they can turn their attention to kill off TZY as well. Not enough mana left in the tank to play around with the swashbuckle. He'll make him work for it. But inevitably, he will still end up dying here. But hey, Space, tier 2 mid, that's taking a beating. Sorry, tier 1 mid.
Dire's structures are fortified.
It is for sure. No armor reduction just yet, not even the Blightstone, which might have helped with that, but as he is hitting like a beast now, 181, he was able to get the Astral Spirit across all of that team fight, so nicely done there. And they've opened up the map a little bit, so not all was lost there for MagMa. I'm sure they would have hoped that that team fight might have gone even better, but it forced a heavy rotation down towards the bottom side of the map from Elephant.
Continuing for this daytime to be a big powers play here for MagMa. See how these teams are able to recognize when they are the most powerful in the game, and in the end, though, it does come down to how they're able to execute. And well, MagMa at the moment doing a phenomenal job at that, and they're even going to look to continue on with the defense of this T1 tower down bot.
Just scouting out with the illusions, though.
TZY.
Can they catch out Somnus here?
Somnus.
It's a big commitment.
Gonna get clipped on. He can bounce back on the crystal. Can he ghost walk to safety, though? It looks like TZY once again with the target prioritization, looking to get rid of the Invoker, but it's still going to cost him Dust potentially to simulate. Now with the Astral Step, they still bring him down. FY. Utilizing that song, and it's kind of forced away the rest of the backline as well, but it doesn't matter. It's not fast enough to be able to get the chain control with the Meteor Hammer, and now TZY again is zoning away the backline as FY will attempt to TP out. They don't have a way to cancel, but man, MagMa are doing a very good job at executing some of these fights. It does cost them 2, but looked like it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, that level 1 radius of the Song of the Siren, not in there, immense, so you're able to get the kill, excuse me, in onto the backlines with TZY there, able to cut down super. I think FY was thinking maybe his entire team was safe, but I'm really liking this Pango's positioning. Constantly being in there on the backlines and not afraid to soak up a lot of damage. And, well, in true Chinese fashion, he's breaking down his items and looking to rebuild them into something better. Echo Saber coming up very shortly after he went the Mask of Madness, just to assist a little bit more with the farming in the previous 5 minutes.
We might see the same for Eurus as well. Echo with the BKB being queued up here for the Night Stalker. Weaver as well is also sitting very comfortably in the net worth. He's got 19, making about to be actually 12,000 gold in the bank. So he's got the treads queued up at the moment. Do you feel like Weaver has to commit into a stat heavy
he's got
item?
Lincoln's now.
Okay.
He's bought the Perseverance, so I like it.
Oh, super. Should get cut down again. And even at nighttime now, MagMa with that strong second daytime, it's now giving them enough of a lead to where they feel content with still being able to take some fights at this stage in the game.
Yeah, they know Eurus is on the bottom side of the map. Unfortunately for Elephant, that Sentry Ward is just out of range of that Observer Ward in the lane. So they're going to understand when and where he's looking to TP.
Radiant structures are fortified.
They are trying to set up on Weaver up top. There are two other Radiant heroes nearby, however, and Yang? They know they don't have the numbers advantage at the moment. Yang going super greedy, and they're just going to penalize him. They had the information there. They knew they didn't have numbers to take the fight, and I saw this too. A beautiful ice path, but TZY, he can just roll on forward. They are lacking some detection. It's a little bit too late with the sentry, but...
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah, a little bit of an odd move by Yang. I mean, every single one of his teamfight decisions in game number 1 was on point, but this time around he just dived in without the rest of his team. You definitely can't do that unless the Night Stalker's with you to assist.
Middle tower has fallen.
Has given some space to Eurus, as if he wants this BKB completed, he can disassemble the Echo.
I think he will. Okay. He just wants to get his level 12 as well by farming up this camp.
They smoke now.
It's a lot more damage from the Dark Ascension. This is a big timing for him.
Let's see.
Dire
I'm keeping tabs on him. Is he gonna disassemble?
He will, I think. He's just like lacking item slots right now, so he's gonna need to drop one of those branches.
Radiant coming down for Yang. Does has such long-range pick-off potential with his mobility. I mean, yours is a perfect way to set up for this Remnant. We've seen time and time so far through this game, and you know, also we're seeing a lot more emphasis as well on these core Void Spirits from putting more points to the 8th Remnant. You know, it used to be just like a 1-4-4 build, but with that change to the Remnant, you know, reducing the mana costs and increasing the pull duration, we're seeing a lot more value out of this.
As well as the 8th Remnant damage at level 10. Can't go away from that. It's a lot of burst, a lot of pick-off potential, like they're doing onto Mian Mian right now.
Wait, they've come over. How did they get there so fast from MagMa? Eurus has to pop the BKB now, so he does disassemble the Echo. And now with the Song, I mean, it doesn't block in TZY, so they will still lose Super. And I'm pumping back and forth, unfortunately for TZY. It gets bashed up by Roshan. Are they now going to try and bring it down? I mean, they have the Bugs minus armor, the Lucky Shot minus armor as well. Looks like TZY's in the understanding that they can kill it off.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you're against a Roche as a Pangolier, it's very easy to be able to take him down with that long duration of the disarm, the armor reduction.
Oh, they found Eurus. They know the BKB's on Kudam. Look at the damage early on. Just too late on the last zone. There's no extra damage follow-up as well, so Elephant just seems to be crumbling right now through this early game.
Unfortunately for TZY, should have to back off. Might look to push out this mid-wave one more time, but it just feels like your team fights are so much easier to take as long as you've got that Pangolier, especially something around Roche. So many walls to be able to bounce into. Everyone's going to be clumped up in a small area, and that shield crash is just going to get the maximum value.
And this means also Weaver's almost got a Lincoln's completed, so it's just going to get more difficult on how Elephants start the fight. Like, you don't have the lasso capability. The ensnare's another big one for that chain control. I mean, it really feels like you're all coming down to the Night Stalker getting the silence on him, but Eurus is still really farm, but it's going to take him a couple more minutes to find that blink, and until then, I struggle to see how Elephant can take these fights.
And you saw there, the Night Stalker had to use the BKB to be able to chase people down when they had that amazing start to the fight on MagMa, but eventually the Lena's going to have a Yules, so a little bit more survivability for her when the Night Stalker inevitably looks to chase her down.
And they will go back into Roche. Dire. So have the ward in the vicinity, so they see Kaz, and I believe they saw TZY jump in the area. But they've caught out the Invoker again, man. Dust has been so on point with his pickoffs. Like, he's 5, 2, and 7. He's playing flawlessly almost.
Almost, and I mean, that's the power of daytime, right? So much vision is increased. They already had the vision on the high ground there. Night Stalker wasn't in a position to contest. I believe Dark Ascension had about 20 seconds left on its cooldown, and well, now that they're all nice and healthy, perfect time to go into Roche and take it away.
Radiant's bottom
they can just keep going. You want to force that Dark Ascension to be popped.
Yep.
Maybe fix the lanes, but after that,
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
This is The big issue is that Somnus as well is committed for the Orchid. So, like, often we see a Spirit Vessel into a Midas just so you can scale into the late game. But this heavy reliance on getting pickoffs mid. Okay, they'll catch out Dust. Song used the setup to get on top of the Void Spirit. Nice use of the Yule Scepter though. And now, I don't think you can stick around on Elephant. TZY with this Rolling Thunder disrupting the backline. Still Eurus is prioritizing down the Void. They'll be able to get the successful kill now to the southern side as well, but with all their abilities used to just focus down one hero, it means that they are now lacking control to find a secondary kill.
That was so close as well. He gets away if he survives for another half a second. The Astral Step would have been coming off cooldown. That's the difference of having the Dust of Appearance in your inventory versus the Ogre Axe.
FY? Oh, this is not looking good. Just out of range of Echo.
It's your song though.
They might keep chasing though on the Weaver. He's got a whole lot of armor, so maybe that's the only reason why FY will get back to safety.
FY's got a whole lot of levels though. Actually, the level split is pretty damn even across the board for all these heroes. Just goes to show how much these teams are playing together as opposed to having this one hero that's off to the side splitting up and getting farm on his own.
But then again, man, Dust, you are having a stellar performance. The lasso does give Eurus a little bit time to get back to safety. They don't have the damage to kill off the Lina, but at least they couldn't follow up with Dust's initiation on top of the backline here on Eurus. Still, nonetheless, Somnus will get brought down unless it definitely blast TP cut through from the Lina, and that's coming back into play. That if they just got that little bit of damage onto Miamion, then maybe that deafening blast into the TPR was potentially successful.
Yeah, this Lina, this pesky Lina, just able to scale so well even from that position 4 role. Getting into the Yule Scepter, providing a little bit of extra layer of survivability, especially until Yang finishes up his BKB. That feels like the big point where Elephant could turn this game entirely around.
I cannot believe that somehow still Eurus is top of the net worth. I honestly don't know where he's getting his farm. Like, he's got 146 last hits. It looks good in the graph. It doesn't seem like he's getting that many creeps, though. And somehow this is honestly what China has just prided themselves on. All their position 1s, their farming patterns are just top-notch.
Top-notch, and he's almost built up a Blink Dagger for himself. Same sort of thing with the Naga Siren, who pops the smoke. She's going to end up falling.
Song?
As a result, it's still just, I don't know if you want to use the song for this.
She was attempting it, but I think Dust got the yours to cancel, and yeah, it was his yours to cancel. So, I mean, it's a decent amount of space. Dai should be able to shove out mid and bot and get some continual farm. I think this game has to kind of turn back around at this next night time, and when it's going to be up in about 35 seconds here. That's the blink picked up on Eurus. Are there any other item timings to kind of compete against MagMas now?
I mean, he was very close to the Blink Dagger on Naga. I'm still a fan of him going for a shard now, though. Feels like a lot of their damage is AoE, so you're going to get a lot of value out of it.
Dire. They don't have the
Into each
Naga.
other.
Lasso to start, on top of the Lina, lays down the Ice Path as well. They'll kill off Miamion, which has been a lot of their damage involvement from a support, but still, Yang, at least he gets a Lasso out before he dies. Now, FY's kind of trying to disrupt the backline, but they haven't caught Weaver, they haven't caught Pangolier as well. So the lack of control here at the moment costing them some of their heroes on Elephant, but still maybe with a 3-on-3 they can turn it back in their favor. As Somnus just getting chunked down from the solo Weaver. There's no assistance coming through as he's able to pick up a triple kill, but it's a battle of the position 1s right now. As Eurus still looking to try and win them over this team fight, but the only issue is that he doesn't have a position 2 like MagMa do in Dust.
Yeah, Eurus, he did a good job. He got it on the back lines. He realizes the importance of taking out these heroes that don't have a ton of movement capabilities. The Lina, the Elder Titan, they're not necessarily sitting ducks, but when you compare the ease of being able to kill them compared with a Pango, a Weaver, a Void Spirit, you're wanting to focus them down every single time so that hopefully your team can have the numbers advantage. But it was just a matter of, well, in the meantime, Weaver was able to get so much done, and he's holding on to nearly 3,700 gold.
Huh. He's a rich boy. Dust is too. Aghanim's completed here on the Void Spirit, so Wow, I mean, it's just continuing to ramp up the net worth lead, and how do Elephant claw their way back into this game? It's only 5,000 deficit, but it really feels like these team fights have not been going well for quite some time.
They just got to get their next items. It's as simple as that. He's going into the Nullifier, and Eurus really like it, especially once these Ghost Scepters start to be brought up en masse by MagMa. Even the Yule Scepters, right? That little bit of extra survivability, it's not going to mean anything. The Aghanim Scepter, of course, on Somnus, it's going to be a big item, especially if they're able to get a key target with the lasso. Their timings have been a tiny bit off with the Song of the Siren, so I wouldn't guarantee that for being able to claim a few kills. And then, of course, the Blink Dagger and FY. Actually, he's changing up. He's going into the Aghanims.
They've caught out Eurus. Oh, so unfortunate. He pulled the Ancients on top of the Aether Remnant there.
You get a Paladin Sword, though. Nicely done. But yeah, going into the Aghanim Scepter on the Naga. Just wanting some of that BKB piercing ensnare, as well as being able to lock people down while they're inside the sleep.
Yeah, my issue with the Aghanim Shard is that, like, it's a big cooldown to not know how you want to use it. Like, it's great for the saving, but I feel like you have a lineup that relies on you getting a pretty good song to set up for Ice Path, Macropie, or for Yang to get on top of, you know, a key component in the backline to set up for Somnus's round of abilities. So it feels awkward on how you then utilize the the song aggressively or defensively if you get that shard.
Sure, but it does give you more options, is what I do like about it.
That is very true, yeah.
The healing is just too much to pass up for mine. The big thing is something else that feels awkward for Elephant is having a full nighttime where they've basically had to sit back and not do too much with it. And that's because they need to get these next few items, and they're so damn close. 150 gold away from the BKB, Naga Siren only one item away from the Ag Scepter. Same sort of deal with Somnus, with his Ags. Ghost Scepter now is up for Super. And they've changed away from the Nullifier on Eurus, heading more towards the AC. I would still much rather he goes the Nullifier. I think it's an amazing item this game for him.
That bonus armor is definitely going to come into handy, but like you were saying though, the fact that how many ways they can kite the Night Stalker, he's very reliant on getting a quick kill on the support, you know, cancelling out their impact, whether it's control or...
Well, not even a support, right? Imagine if he gets onto the Void Spirit with his items the way that they are now. What can he do? He can't Yules, he can't get Force-Staffed away, he's underneath the Crippling Fear, and he just gets burst down by Team Elephant.
Dire, they don't have Somnus at the moment. They're going to be careful how far they kite themselves away from each other, because they're slightly split at the moment. They'll jump on the Pango, BKB, stopping any further protection, as Miam was trying to pump fake the LSA. But that is a couple of BKBs and a Dark Ascension. They need to get more out of it, and Eurus, he's hunting with a blink, stalking the Knight.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Miam's actually going to jump in forward. FI can potentially song to save him. Now, who does he catch? He's only found 3. Kaz has still been able to get the Earth, but it looks like FI just sings the retreat. This does though. Can they get the Yules? Just out of range, man. This fast mobility unobstructed as well. But the Dark Ascension's about to expire. Now it goes to daytime. The worst timing for the Night Stalker. There's the Yules. Sends him up and back down to the grave.
That wasn't too bright.
Long respawn timer on Roche is the one saving grace here for Elephant. By the time he comes up, they'll have about 20 seconds to make their decision if they're right there, ready to take it. But I mean, the team fight did go better for Elephant than it has in the past.
Radiant's bottom tower has
Able to get that initial pick off onto the Pangolier. Wonder if that changes up his item build at all. No, he's still going to go into the BKB. That's not going to protect him against any kind of Bat Rider Lasso.
Somnus is getting some items. He's got Aghanims working on BKB next. Maybe the Cataclysm could turn a big team fight. That's all you need potentially from Elephant. But I mean, take a look at the Lena's net worth. Far out. Position 4 Lena. We've been seeing a lot of incredibly farm position 4s, haven't we, through the group stages?
Even FY is not doing too bad. And finally, oh, the ag shot. It's coming.
Very good.
It's coming. I'm going to see it. Hopefully. Don't GG out. But there goes the Roche. They made good use out of their time, realizing that A, it's daytime, so the buyback wouldn't have been super useful, and B, they had that 20 seconds. You've got all this minus armor. Why not take out Roche? So who got the shard?
The Pango did. I was just gonna ask, would you have preferred the Pango or the Weaver to get it? Because Weaver does have a couple of attack modifiers here.
And more importantly, well, not necessarily more importantly, but against the Invoker as well, it also reveals units.
They only have 2 heroes top. Tornado kind of disrupts the damage at the moment here from Eurus, but it's not going to matter. I was thinking maybe raiding with that outpost might instantly TP, but they're happy with trading a 1-for-1. He's down for quite a while in the lean up, but that is Dark Ascension used.
Being able to reveal invis units is pretty damn important though, right? Against an Invoker with Ghost Walk with not a ton of escape at his potential, at his disposal, that's the one. And it also means that Glimmer Cape is pretty heavily reduced in effectiveness. Not that they have any so far. I love it. The Night Stalker went back into the Nullifier. That's exactly what he needs.
Still...
Come on, FY. Get that farm. 100 gold away, baby.
Still a long way away from the next night time as well, which, I mean, they got ages for another 3 minutes, so this should be a pretty methodical play from MagMa, just looking to close out these last remaining outer towers. Nothing too crazy. Sieging high ground is going to get very difficult, because, I mean, with how all the lane shove that Elephant have, and an Invoker high ground is definitely a menace to go into, and you don't have a hard dispel for the lasso, so there will come to a stage where this potential just instant pick off might be too much as Yang. He's gonna charge up the Rolling Thunder. He's gonna drag back Pango, but just trading ultis. Are they going back in? I'm watching Eurus down bot. FY has the song. A nice double silence tornado, maybe giving him some space for being able to use the ultimate. The Eurus are just claiming the life before he's able to. Meanwhile, bottom lane though, Eurus is battling with the Lina, but...
How the hell did Lina get away?
Because he used Eurus, and he didn't want to BKB, looks like.
Alright.
They're coming.
Smart.
Uh-oh. Oh, this could be no bueno. Don't do it.
Would have seen that he had a TP at least, but yeah, it's worth going for a scouty scout.
Alright, I'll see Weaver now. He's like, no, you know, I'm good. I'll chill. It's not hitting no creeps though.
Still doesn't have a TP either. He hasn't had one for about 3 minutes.
Wait, who's this?
Weaver.
Oh, I'm just looking at the Night Stalker right now. My dude's clawing away.
Regeneration.
This is a scary man. I wonder if he's gonna go... I mean, he still needs that AC. We have seen, though, the Arcane Blink late game jumped. They've found the Void Spirit. Nullify gets rid of the Yules, and I mean, this is the big item you were calling for. And now you've got ways to kill off these really, really pesky cores, and Dust has been a thorn in their side for the pretty much entirety of this game.
Nice, healthy 500 kill bounty going his way as well, so I have no issues with him going the AC after this point, but it just felt like they needed something to be able to claw themselves back into an advantageous position. Again, the siege continues pushing forward. FY using that meteor hammer.
Wait, oh no, Eurus. They're gonna get backstabbed here. Somnus, he's got BKB. He's gonna pop it instantly. We'll be able to. He needs to connect with the rest of the team now as FY wants to charge up the ultimate. Meanwhile, the last one on the backline sets up for the Cataclysm. So they'll kill off the Lina. Now with the song as well. Somnus' BKB has been expired here. Now with the Weaver being able to prioritize him down. The silence at the last second. He's still got the Aegis. They'll at least be able to deal with the first fight for the instant buyback from Lina. It's a big team fight from MagMa. They need to get to the respawn. As Weaver now should be the raid boss of the team fight. There's been a lot forced out just to bring him down the once, but he jumped once again. Lina brought back for this is falling incredibly low. The Nullifier locks out any defensive capabilities, and a Weaver as well is the next target. The control's not there at the moment. Somnus needs to try and find it after the last second. The Orchid's out. Now with the Nullifier as well, locking him in and bringing him down. As Elephant will find two, but they got to be careful still in their positioning as Somnus once again caught out of the backline here. That's a dieback.
man. I mean, the net worth graph, it's going to even out a little bit here. But man, is that not on the back of Eurus being able to bring them back into that fight? So many. He's a beast. There's nothing that any of these supports help. There's nothing even Dust can do in these team fights as soon as he's just available with that Dark Ascension. That double damage rune is going to make him a little bit more effective if they're able to get on the offensive instead of being caught out. They're going hunting.
Uh-oh.
Just a little cubby hole. He TP's out.
Did Arcane Blink? He did. Okay, so this is the item I was going to try and bring up beforehand. This with 25, you've got a full uptime as long as you use Arcane Blink before Dark Ascension.
Yeah. It's kind of nutty.
Oh, Eurus? I think they saw him farming the Ancients. BKB still on cooldown for 10 seconds. And now with the DD as well, Song FI needs to get in range. And the saving grace once again. Stand down, Mr. President. I've got your back here. They're actually going to look to turn. MagMa, they still got 2 heroes on the deck. With the BKBs expired, but at least they can drag back the Void Spirit. And Yang, he wants more blood as well. Have they got a way to stop the TP? They do. FY's Aghanim Scepter can cancel the Rolling Thunder into the TP. Still able to make a lot of distance away. Eurus blink up. Down actually for 10 seconds, but President Eurus keeps the life and they get a big kill on the position to Void Spirit as well.
It just feels to me like he needs a BKB. That's what this Void Spirit needs right now. Lincoln's isn't going to do that much out of anything. You're still going to be able to use the Void before the Nullifier, so why not just BKB first, and then at least you've got an ability to get away. How much does Nullifier cost? Like 5,000 gold, a little bit less, and that's a lot of item net worth wasted if you're just able to bait him in onto you first.
Well, we've pretty much got an even ball game here, Danog. Second game in of our last best of 3 of the night. How are we feeling? Actually, hold that thought. Weaver. Oh, that's right. And did they lose the gem on Radiant as well? Okay, no. So both teams have a gem. How are we feeling about the status quo of this game? Do we feel like Elephant, you know, with their past couple of fights, can bring this one further and further back?
I think they, in order to bring it back as far as they have,
Weaver?
They've done a very good job. You know, they got the key items. Weaver should be okay.
The greatest way to pop the Lincolns. He's got to use that Yules, I guess, on Yang.
I really want to see Weaver pick up an Ag Shard before he even goes into the Satanic. Maybe the Lifesteal just on its own, the Morbid Mask instead of the Magic Wand might be enough, just so that he's able to, you know, consistently have an ability to stand and fight. But yeah, for mine, you're going to be waiting. You've reached level 25 now on the Night Stalker. That Dark Ascension cooldown reduced by a full minute. And there it is.
Dude, it's so crazy. It's so crazy. He's got Leveler 2. What an item on the Night Stalker. Hitting over 500 through the Dark Ascension. Yeah. And like now,
backing up.
Dude.
How often do you see this? A smoke to retreat.
Look at this. Like, look at how you can just rally around the Night Stalker's vision. This is crazy. Oh my god. Yeah. Maybe they can go at the last second. Yang pops the smoke. Instant BKB. Now they've kited up the Rolling Thunder. Eurus again, he's at least zoned away the rest of the heroes to waste this big ultimate from the Pangolier. And Eurus actually makes it on the higher ground. BKB TP out. Isn't actually going to commit to it. Now with the bash coming through, still the Dark Ascension on cooldown. They'll sing this song, sound the retreat, just getting that health back in their favor as well. They want to go back in. Once again, Eurus, the ultimate charge straight on top of FY, but it feels like the Naga's already used their abilities. Now with the Cataclysm coming through, they grouped up with the Ice Path. Massive amount of damage on top of the Weaver. He's still got the potential time lapse, actually still on cooldown. The Lasso holding in TZY, but the big issue is Eurus is going to fall. They target through the Night Stalker, and that's almost all of the damage from Elephant. So now they have to try and TP out. As Somnus protected with the BKB, they have no answer to that, but they can just answer the rest of the heroes. As without the magic immunity, FY will be chased down. They can't cancel Super's TP, but boy oh boy, they can cancel Nagas.
I mean, you were able to get away. That fight for Elephant could have gone so much worse as soon as the Night Stalker went down. They actually did have a way to cancel the TP away with the Pangolier with the Basher as well. So BKB TP isn't the result of everything. He swashbuckled, didn't get a single proc, so luck was on Elephant's side today.
Well, who do you feel like Elephant need to prioritize in these fights? Like, what is the most important hero to bring down? Because it looked like that fight, they were kind of in two minds of, are we retreating? Are we going in? How are we kind of taking the angle?
For me, it's the Pango every single time. He just provides so much sustain in these team fights. He's so annoying just to be able to prevent you from getting these bashes away. Hell, even just interrupting simple stuff like the meteor hammer, not able to get off when you're getting mini bashed by the Pangoliers basher.
Yep.
Dire are scanning.
And third Roche is up as well. So Radiant with ease. Dire just, are they looking for a pick off bot? They're not wanting to contest Roche with the Night Stalker still dead. So a third free Roshan for MagMa.
Give it to the ET, come on.
Are you speaking about the Ags?
Yeah, they gave it to Pango. I don't mind that either.
Beaver? He's got ages. Okay, they might pop it here. No, he used himself. Oh, disastrous. Super.
Even the best players
Super,
can have that
no. Oh, this is not good. MagMa catching a bit of a break there.
Winds of destruction.
And finally, all right. Feeling a lot more confident about MagMa now, not just because of the Aegis, but now finally Dust has a fresh BKB picked up. So he's going to be able to survive any kind of deep incursion by the Night Stalker on top of him. You need to commit multiple heroes now to be able to take him down.
So the Dark Ascension has also a 9-second downtime too. I wasn't sure what the duration was, but we saw previously that Ancient fight, it caused them a little bit of issues with not having it instantly up once it expired. What talents did Pango go for? Right, the minus 28 seconds, down to 42. He's almost got overwhelming blink if he wants to complete it as well. He's top of the net worth, where he's so farmed.
TZY is straight up there in this game.
He's a very, very key component to Elephant's lineup right here, and he's just going to get ripped apart. Sitting outside the base, and our TZY is even getting a little bit aggressive with this Rolling Thunder. Nonetheless, he forces out 2 BKBs, and they're very impactful BKBs as well on Somnus, along with Yang.
They're happy. They're happy that they've reduced the cooldown on those a little bit longer. Are they down to 6 seconds on both of them yet? I believe so.
Oh, they're underneath a ward. Somnus BKBs on cooldown.
There's no dust
though. Who's got the gem?
25. 2.5 second dissimulate's done.
Somnus.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Dude, Eurus too.
I like it.
What are we liking? Eurus?
Weaver Shard.
His Dark Ascension's about to expire. TZY is nearby as well with the Basher. He just has to wait till the Dark Ascension. Should be up very shortly.
He's not going to be able to get the blink off though.
He got that cooldown reduction still. Man, they are... Dude, look at this. Space created.
OS Frog.
Mid lane? Okay, Dust is just solo killing off your position 3. BKB still on cooldown. But they're going to be able to stop the blink away now with your Scepter. Dust's own use of it. And that was 9 second? It was. What a chaotic game. What do you reckon the win probability is, Danog? You taking a look at it recently?
I looked at it, I think it was after the Roche fight, and it was sitting at basically 50-50. So, I would say 65 to MagMa.
Yeah, it's very close. Very, very close. Well, they have the Aegis for another minute 20 here on the side of MagMa. They are a bit split from Mian, which is... They do have the outpost control at least to be able to rejoin. They're going to try and catch out the Weaver. Lincoln's pop, drag back. They'll deal with the first life. Are they going to stick around for the second life though? FY charging up the Meteor Hammer. They'll find the Ice Path connection, but the big issue is instantly with the Rolling Thunder, it forces Elephant to collapse on the back line. They have been able to find the Elder Titan as well. So 1-for-1, Naga's going to buy back. They don't have the outpost control though, so FY won't be able to rejoin them. And now with the Bash is there as well. Still long duration left here on the Dark Ascension from Eurus, but an even better Tornado allows Eurus to reposition. FY still such a long distance away. Now Somnus looks like just a sacrificial lamb. Not what you really want from your position to Invoker, as he'll even be able to catch out the Chikiro too.
Oh, they're melting him, and well, FY, he bought back, he ran all the way down that lane. I don't know if it's a run, she's a mermaid sort of creature, but it just isn't result in anything. You know, the power of taking team fights on the enemy side of the map is, well, you can take objectives, but if it doesn't go your way, they're so much quicker to be able to reinforce.
I mean, you keep bringing up the TZY Pangolier, and he's causing way too much chaos in this fight. You see instantly that Rolling Thunder. They just have to avoid the area that he goes in, and they're gonna have to get really cute here, Elephant, with their Song the Siren usage. Like, maybe that can enable them to target one key hero down on MagMa. The issue is without the Invoker, I don't think you can burst anyone through the lasso duration.
Even just having the overwhelming blink as well, right? It means you can't get that instant blink away if he's not right on top of you with the Rolling Thunder blink. It means that you're much more likely to get hit by subsequent bounces of it. Much easier for someone like a Void Spirit to catch you out, to get caught inside the Earth Splitter. I mean, after 40 minutes or so, Earth Splitter becomes so valuable.
They got the vision thanks to Eurus' ultimate, but Yang, he didn't pop the BKB to drag back the Pangolier further and further. Now it's going to enable him. It's a Lincoln's BKB pop. Now he's going to charge up the Rolling Thunder, the bounce back at the crits. Eurus is down. Song too late. The BKBs just rip apart the Night Stalker, and TZY continuing to reign supreme in this game. Look at the Pangolier play.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Just saying to Yang, anything you can do, I can do better. And he's showing exactly why. Super, he's got to put up the best defense that he can alongside Yang, but all of the right-click damage just isn't there.
Bye-bye, Jakiro. Maybe they can have the try and meatball to potentially bring this back. Cataclysm to Pango?
Alright.
Huh. Okay, well they're going to have to give up at least a full.
Dire's bottom barracks.
Or maybe even Yang too.
Dire's bottom barracks are under attack. Dire's bottom barracks.
Just able to get away, but no BKB. Basically no defensive capabilities anymore as they continue to push in onto the mid lane.
If they caught out, it's going to be Somnus, that key high ground defense. He's got a buyback, instantly going to pop it here from Elephant. Dust has gone pretty deep, but he'll be able to sidestep. The issue is he can't dodge the lasso. The drag back into the Invoker's damage. Again, not enough, as Dust actually going to go aggressively with the Simulate. Just so much space is getting created.
Sanjin Kai is doing so much work. That lasso barely lasted for any time at all.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
Just going straight on onto the top side. This time they'll have to deal with Eurus, but they should at least be able to take a tier 3 tower in the meantime.
Radiant's top tower
Dust is not really in fighting shape. I think Radiant have to get back, as maybe it's going to cost them their life on the Lina. And I think 100% it will. Eurus wants more blood though. They're not just happy with the Lina considering how many objectives they lost. But ET will get away and along too with Weaver.
MagMa putting themselves in a really strong position here. So close to picking up Mega Creeps. It's so far away, it feels. You know, there's always the potential for a turnaround when you've got this Night Stalker with the build, with the Nagasaur combo into the Cataclysm. It could be 100-0, and we're running pretty low on the buybacks right now. Only the Pangolier and the Void Spirit having them.
Alright, let's see how they're able to turn this on Elephant. 22,000 deficit. It's going to be an almost insurmountable task, but Lina's down for 60. They have at least the numbers advantage. Unfortunately for them, Roshan is not up for another 45. It's just they have to rely on this lasso getting them a pick off. Because maybe the vision can help catch Weaver. Bat does have the gem right now. But he's a little bit too shy to get that jump. Can they pop the Lincolns? Oh, it's Somnus to jump. Dust went in. Charging up the Rolling Thunder and a choke point. You've got to be so careful. They've caught out FY. They really need this song to reset the fights. And oh, FY's Naga has just been not what they're looking for in Elephant. And now the secondary support might get caught out as well. They'll try and chuck up the Cataclysm, but without any control to lock the heroes in for the pure damage. They'll lose 3. No buybacks available. They're going to try and shove out these side lanes, but feels like the end is coming.
It is, and Roche is back up again with that refresher shard as well as the Ags. It was another poor instance, unfortunately, there by Yang, where he ends up using the Flaming Lasso onto a Lincoln's Dust.
And Somnus giving me some anxiety. Okay, he's alright. You know, he's not a knight. Is good old Eurus. He's just getting soloed from Dust at the moment. He's actually going in. He's trying to play around with this mobility, but he doesn't have a buyback. Okay.
Well, it's not a 2-0. MagMa,
we got a game 3.
Train having game 3s over and over again. And this one is against a pretty seasoned opponent, so I'm sure they'll be feeling very happy about themselves. And has to be said, Dust, I thought he performed very well in the mid lane, but it has to be TZY. He was the #1 for me.
Yeah, 100% with everything you just said. I mean, what Dust was able to do in the mid game, like you would kind of expect Elephant to have the vision advantage with the Night Stalker, with the Naga. Often all these lanes are shoved out. You've got that nighttime information, but man, Dust just got pickoff after pickoff in the early game. And I mean, Pango, was he top of the net worth? Weaver was just
100.
Like,
no, not even 100. 11. That's 11 net worth ahead.
That's good enough for me. He outperformed by a long shot on TZY. That was an incredible solo performance from Pangoli, who the KDA doesn't look on paper, but the value that he provided to Team MagMa was a ridiculous amount. And what a performance to bring this back to a game 3. And we've had a lot of 2-0s lately, but like you were saying, MagMa, they're seasoned to the game 3s. They had one versus RNG, they had one versus Aster, so they're currently 1 and 2 from a full series. And well, we'll see if they'll be able to make it 2 and 3 now, going up against the Titans in Elephant. We'll send it to a break. Our last game of the night up around the corner.